Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and this week in War of the Visions we are getting Fang, the newest Final Fantasy 13 collaboration unit, as well as a rerun of all the FF13 stuff. Now, it hasn't been that long since the Final Fantasy 13 units were in the game, getting a little bit of love, like Master Ability 2s, Transcendences, whatever they didn't have when they did that huge list of updates for all the collab units, or at least the mainline collab units. Hashtag where is Final Fantasy Tactics. Anyway, we're getting Fang this week. She's a 90 cost lightning unit, and at 90 cost, I think they might have got that right. Looking at what she is on paper, 90 cost is probably where I guess she falls on my tier list rankings. Let's take a look at her kit. So she is move 3, jump 4. She's a spear unit, so that's not too, they have that boosted jump a lot of times. When I first saw Dragonbane Knight and Operative as her sub jobs, I got pretty happy. I think those are pretty solid sub jobs, but she lacks a little bit in the operative department. We'll check that out here in a minute. Hat, cloth, accessory. Speaking of accessories, her TMR is her Fang necklace. It has HP, defense, accuracy, and crit rate. Not the greatest stat line on it, and the buff is a little bit confusing, right? We'll have to see exactly how this plays out in game, but I'm going to read it to you. It says, grants allies 200% chance CT up for 3 turns for 3 turns. So it looks like for some way or another, it's going to give your allies CT up manipulation on themselves, which could be powerful, but we'll have to see just how potent that is in game and if this is a TMR that people are choosing to use or not. Okay, her master ability. She has the lightning element buff, of course. Then she has AP consumption down 15 and pierce attack resist penetration 10. Now, 10 pierce attack resist pen is interesting to see. There's still not a ton of pierce resist out there in the game, but this will help you get around a little bit of what anybody's bringing. She's really going to want defense penetration more, at least right now in the game. Okay, her dream ability. 20 accuracy, you love to see that, and 15 AoE resist, you love to see that. This accuracy is going to synergize really well with the rest of her kit, and then dual impact, her like single target picker skill does get an upgrade, which we were anticipating. Just a brief look at her stats, you can see that she is strong to almost all damage types except strike. Now she can fix that with her support abilities, but strike is relevant in the game, and this is another one of those areas where I think the 90 cost is kind of accurate, right? Having strike, resist, weakness doesn't feel good in year 4 or the beginning of year 4 in War of the Visions. Okay, her stat line, 67 agility, you'd love to see that, so she's pretty fast. Nice attack right there, decent HP, and if you dream enhance the attack and HP, spike, the HP basically doubles, which is nuts. And so there you go. That's what you're getting for her stat lines. Let's look at her kit. Support ability. She gets pierce attack 15 and then 200% chance physical damage up 15% when her HP is above 80%. I love this. I love this. You're just going to want to have her not take damage, right? Because basically, if she gets taken down below 80%, she loses 15% of her damage. Oh my gosh, talk about risk reward. It's very 90 cost unit. It's very like bang for your buck if you can pull off that conditional. I love it. I like this one a lot. Okay, then Dragonbane Knight's knowledge, attack and defense pin 40. She needs this. I think you have to run this, right? Defense penetration, she just has to have it. So here's 40 of it, and she can give herself the rest of it later. It comes with an attack steroid as well. Now, if you wanted to run this and not this because you don't like this conditional, you do have some other options. You have move 1 with -3 aggro, which seems like it would synergize really well here, but I still think you have to run this. So that's kind of a interesting little mix, an interesting little play right there. Agility 12, strike resist 15. You might want to run this to 1, go faster, and 2, cover that strike resist weakness that you had if you plan on fighting some strike teams. And then she does have evasion and acquired AP up. You're probably not running that one. Her counter moves. This is another area where she's very not 100 cost. She has a 20% chance to counter all damage and reduce the damage by 30%. Like, that's her new one. It's okay, but a 20% proc chance, you're just not going to count on that very much. Otherwise, she has some damaging counter attacks, but you got to watch out for piercing damage counter attacks. You can stab your friends right through the back on your way to the counter attack, and that's kind of dangerous. Okay, next up, her main job. All of her moves here basically do extra things, so I like her main job a lot. What it has is a lot of piercing damage. What it doesn't have that you've seen some other new units have is a mix of damage types, and a mix of damage types is something she's going to not really half in her like whole kit. We'll get to operative in a little bit, but a lot of brand new units either mix in damage types in their main job or have a great sub job with the other damage option. She's stuck in Pierce. It's a good place to be stuck, in March 2024, but is it going to be a good place to be stuck in October 2024? I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so her Drain attack. This is a short-range cheap move that absorbs 121% damage HP. She scales purely off attack, and it's piercing. She does have Courage, so 200% chance to give herself Courage when it restores AP by 20, so a nice little Courage buff right there. Area Blast that gets upgraded to Area Blast 2 is a very, very long range AoE ability. Like, look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's targeting a panel 5 spots away and doing a small AoE. That's crazy. And it seals physical barrier destruction, which you can guess she has a physical barrier. So this is going to be a very important move for her. And if she's running anybody else on her team that gives a physical barrier, nice synergy right there. Okay, Buster plus Shield 2. This is her group buff. This is her bread and butter TP move. You're going to want to cast this every fight. First of all, there's that physical damage shield. I love physical damage shields. I love them. I love magic damage shields. I think 7,500 HP shields are just it. Then it gives 40% attack and 25% agility to allies and 25 single target resist. So it's insane. This is I've talked about how she has some things that are not 100 cost unit skills. This is a 100 cost unit skill. This is super modern. It's super modern day War of the Visions. I love it. It also gives 50 reaction block rate because why not? Okay, Break Thrust. Really good move right here as well. Physical barrier breaker that also decreases defense by 80 just for this cast, 200% modifier damage and piercing. So basically, if there's some units with a physical barrier up or that this defense break would hurt them a lot, she's going to walk up to them. She's got to be close, to be fair, and she's just going to just pop that thing with her spear, and that's pretty awesome. Okay, Dual Impact. She does have a single target attack skill right here that is a multi-target attack picker. 2 targets, range 4. It decreases pierce resist 25% for the target. So this will help her scale into the future with a little pierce resist debuff on there. 165% mod. It has that boosted hit chance, which synergizes really well with her Transcendence Master ability with that boosted accuracy. So just this move is 50 bonus accuracy. If you're fighting evade and you have a little accuracy on there, she's not going to have a problem hitting them, which is nice. And then when a target unit is killed, automatically recover HP when enemy is incapacitated for stealth. So really powerful kit right here. I like it a lot. It's not overpowered except for this buff right here. Feels good in the modern game. If you want to run her new sub job, she has access to a slowing attack in there, which could have some PvE implications. It also decreases chain resist if they are slowed, so that really could have some PvE implications. You'd want to give her a vision card, like a triple hit piercing vision card or something like that, so she could chain. But this could be a pretty clutch move in some PvE chaining situations, especially if you're not loaded up. Then she has Potion, which is a little heal, little AoE heal for her and her friend. She walks up to him, opens a posh potion, I imagine, dumps it on their head, whatever you do. Now, Dragonbane Knight sub. Why would you run this? Well, it does give you a stunning attack. It gives you another absorb damage attack. It gives you a move 1 agility buff if you wanted to run that instead of her courage. Otherwise, it gives you pierce resist debuff for you and your allies with AP restore. The single target resist is really good here, except it doesn't synergize with her other single target resist buff. In fact, it will just cancel itself. Yeah, that's unfortunate right here that this doesn't synergize. Had her other buff been AoE resist, I say you always run Dragonbane Knight sub and you always run this buff, but it's not. So really you're getting an attack steroid, which again doesn't synergize with her other buff, with defense and protect, and then more piercing moves. I don't know, feels kind of awkward. And then operative, the reason I love operative is because it has that shield in it, right? It is a physical and magic shield, which have given her better options if she's fighting mixed damage teams. She doesn't get that though. That's not in here, and that hurts her a bit. She does get some slashing moves, so you could run this for access to slashing type damage, including Drain Zone, which is a big, AoE healing move. Still, I don't know. It just feels like her sub jobs are a little bit lacking. Even with how good they are, they just don't match very well with her main job in my opinion. Okay, there's her heal that she can cast on herself, and then her limit break. So her limit break gives her the other 40 defense pin that she's going to need. So you're going to want her casting her limit break. You're going to want to level this thing 200% damage, and it increases the modifier by 60 if they have defense up. So what does that mean? Well, let's go look at that for a second, because they explain this actually right here. So if they have defense up, it gets that 60% more damage, which is really nice. Then it also has extra strike on it, which WoTV Calc doesn't have, where it does splash damage. So it hits a single target and then splashes out with extra strike to hit units standing next to the target. So that's a pretty cool little thing that she can do as well that wasn't mentioned here. Okay. Briefly, let's talk about the small upgrades that the older units are getting. They already have their master ability and dream enhancements, but they are getting their limit breaks upgraded. So Lightning's limit break will change from this to this. Here we go. Previously, it did slash attack resist 40 for herself and lightning resistance for the target decrease. Now what it does, decreases critical resistance for the target, still does a slash resist decrease, same damage modifier, still decreases their lightning resist. It now increases CT for herself when she crits. So maybe a chance for her. Can you guys hear Baby J screaming in the other room? I think he's like fighting his mom. Not actually like fighting, but I think they're like, you know, anyway, wow, it's loud. Gotta love kids. Okay, this is a chance for her maybe to like drop all these debuffs on somebody with a chain, lap them, and then chain them again with, you know, the rest of her kit somewhere. Could be potential huge damage there from lightning. I like that upgrade. Hope. Does anybody play Hope? I don't know. But here's what his limit break upgrade is going to be. Previously, it was a shorter range, right? I would call that short range. It is now what I would call long range. It's a 3-hit move, increases magic for himself and 200% modifier. Still does all of that, but it now decreases elemental chain resist 40 for targets, is a guaranteed hit, reduces the damage taken by 50% for 3 times for himself. So he gets a 50% damage reduction shield. Also, he reduces the damage of targets by 20% for 3 turns. This move is stacked now. The question is, and maybe this is worth a whole video, is Hope worth playing? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that in video. I don't know. And then here's Snow. He's getting his limit break upgraded as well. So let's go look at that. Previously, you couldn't hit targets with float. It only hit in a little line, like it was an AoE attack, but it's an AoE line-based attack, and it would stun. It was a pretty good move, honestly. It still doesn't hit things with float. It now decreases strike resist 38% for 3 turns, so that's nice. 200% mod stays the same. The stun stays the same, and if they have regenerate, ignore if someone tried to dispel, ignore fatal damage buff for target if the targets have 1 or more of the following effects regenerate. Let's read that again. 67% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn. If the target have 1 or more of the following effects, regen, ignore if someone tries to dispel. So he gives courage dispel blocking. So he can turn off courage dispel for people that he hits while he gives himself regeneration and decrease AP consumption. Really good upgrade for Snow. That feels great. It also feels great that this hits in a square AoE now instead of a line one. So, okay, a big time upgrade for Snow, who is already usable, especially with all the strike that's out there. We are getting some gear upgrades. The Blaze Fire Saber is getting its +6. So let's look at what the +6 does. Your lightning attack, reaction, block rate are all staying the same. Your slash attack, missile attack for self, accuracy, and critical damage 15 removed after 2 hits received. So it's getting critical damage 15. It's this. This is what this one is getting added to it. Then it's also gaining what, like 32 attack? Okay, solid right there, or 7 accuracy if you run the accuracy variant. The Air Wing, Hope's weapon. God, come on, Hope, you need more. Let's see what it's getting. Well, it's getting a 29 magic. Okay, that's something. Then AoE resist 10 if his HP is above 50%, and decreased chance of being targeted when he drops below 80%. So a nice upgrade to Hope's weapon, the Air Wing as well. And then the Dawn Lantern, a sneaky random upgrade right here for Dawn Lantern. The magic on it going from 172 to 206, so right there a 34 upgrade on the magic stat. And again, the thing with Roth, who's usually using this, one of the reasons I value her so highly on my tier list, she does a lot of damage. Some of the other tanks that I have ranked below her don't. She does DPS. At least I feel like she does. Here's what she's getting for this one. The healing power 15 is staying the same. The elemental resist is being added. Nothing else is changing. It's just this. All elemental resist 5% when HP is above 60. So really need that tankiness here, giving your 5% more element resist across the board to go on top of the magic attack resist pin and the AoE resist this weapon was already giving. Really great weapon here, the Dawn Lantern, and that is the upgrades and new unit that we are getting this week. So I will be pulling for Fang on my main account. It's been like a week, maybe 2 weeks since I pulled anything on my main account, so excited to get back there and keep working. For my alt account, this whole collaboration, I'll look at the vision cards, but I think this whole collaboration is just a pass. It's just to farm out the collab for the new player account. With the anniversary coming up, that's something for everybody to keep in mind. Stay strong. The timing of this is weird. Anniversary is right around the corner. There's probably going to be really good deals during the Annie, so make sure to keep your eyes open for that. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.